What's going on, everybody? Coach Stefan here. I'm with one of our clients, Roger. He's been in our program about 6 months, joined mid-November. It's now mid-May. Roger, can you give people a little bit of background, your name, age, what you do for a job, so people have some context, and then we'll just dive in.
Sure. My name is Roger Lavallee. I'm 50 years old. I'm a firefighter for just over 30 years, paramedic. I'm in fire prevention, so I'm the fire inspector for our department. Um, I joined this department, or I joined this program, like Stefan said, back in November, looking to improve my overall fitness, be the leader that my people expect, be the firefighter to show up to someone's house that they expect to show up, in shape, knowing what they got to do and being able to do the job.
Yeah. So that said, when you first joined 6 months ago, you said, "Hey, I joined because I wanted to just lead by example, right? You're high ranking, been in the field for 30 plus years. Do you feel like you weren't that leader when you came in? Like, what kind of prompted you to say, hey, I need to take it to the next notch?
I felt like it on the fireground side, the leadership side, but I knew that I was getting short of breath going up the stairs. I was packing on the weight, just looking in the mirror and being like, this isn't the shape I was in 10 years ago. And I could easily run with the younger guys, and now I'm starting to feel like I'm not keeping up, and to be a leader, like you need to be top of your game, and that helps the members of your team to want to aspire to that also. So,
Yeah.
it was for my own personal health, but, also for my people also.
Yeah, 100%. And like you said, leaders lead from the front, right?
Yeah,
And especially
absolutely.
for the younger guys, like I'm not in law enforcement, but when I was in the military, you see the high-ranking people and some of them are like pretty out of shape, right? And then it's
Sure.
hard to lead with conviction when you're not doing it, right? Like it being the leader, it makes you lead less. And then if you're low ranking and you're looking up, you're like, yeah, this guy doesn't do it. I mean, I know he's 50, but like whatever, right? But when you're 50 years old and you're crushing it and you're outpacing the young guys or keeping up with them, like they can't say anything, right? And then you show up better as a leader. And I know for you and a lot of our, 20 plus career law enforcement, fire, military, you guys have high standards. That's why you're a leader. That's why you're in a leadership role. And so stepping into your own and saying, I'm not out of shape, but I'm not where I should be, right? It takes that type A, high achieving mindset. And a lot of people might look at somebody like that and say, you're good. You don't need a coach. But I always tell people like the highest level people in the world have coaches. Like bodybuilders have coaches, NFL players have strength coaches. Like it doesn't mean they're out of shape. They just want to be that much better, right? So they go and they tighten things up. What results have you seen in 6 months? Because you came here to get in better shape, to get more fit. What have you seen physically, both the way you look and performance?
So when I started out in November of last year, I was about 104 pounds. I was about 26% body fat, and just overall, my endurance was drastically low. I'd get tired easy, and I just wasn't performing to what I felt like I could perform to. Um, so since I've been on the program, like, I'm eating better. I've gotten myself out of the habit of, filling my plate twice, at every meal, and spacing out my food, eating much better food. Um, the workouts, in the beginning they were grueling, because I was just getting back on the horse, and now I feel like I get through an hour and a half, depending on what extra I might be doing, and I'm crushing it. My energy level is good throughout the whole workout, and I'm learning new exercises. I'm in much better shape. I'm down to 164 pounds. I've been there for about a month now, even though my coach just keeps adding food on, and I'm enjoying the food, obviously. But it's nice to keep the weight down, keep the body fat down. Um, I'm probably down probably like about like 19 or 20% body fat right now, but I'm I'm still working on it. It's still shredding away. I'm noticing my just body shape in general is much better. And so that's pretty impressive, just for 6 months to have changed as much as I have. Um, and other people are noticing it too. People at work are noticing it. My girlfriend notices it. My kids notice it. And I have a son that I go to the gym with all the time, and so he's noticing the strength gains and
Yeah.
everything, and so it's kind of cool.
Do you think you're eating more food now than when you came in?
Um, I, I am, but I'm eating the right foods.
Yeah.
Like before it was like, oh, I'll have a couple of Big Macs, or
Yeah.
I'll wolf down a couple platefuls of Chinese food or something like that, and now it's definitely a full plate. Like, I mean, sometimes some meals depending how I space my food out and how busy work gets, some platefuls are are overfilling and stuff. But getting just trying to get my macros in, and it's all good food. It's
Yeah.
I'm eating way more vegetables than I used to. And it's you're not hungry. Like, you might start off that way, but that's just getting your metabolism going, and then once your body starts efficiently using the food, like, and then the coach just keeps adding food on and
Yeah.
keep packing on the muscle.
Yeah. And so basically what we did for those listening with Roger, like he did kind of like a cut, but during that process, if you notice, like, yeah, he lost 20 pounds, he lost, I don't know how much percentage of body fat. Do you know the exact percentage? You started
Uh,
it
I I I think I'm about 8% down.
8%. It's really good.
Yeah.
1%, around 1 to 2% per month is like really good according to ACSM, which is American College of Sports Medicine. They kind of make the guidelines. So that's really good. And you didn't come in with like a ton of fat either, right? So we've got some guys that are bigger and they drop a bunch of weight, and that's awesome. But like they have a lot of weight to lose. For you, going from 184 to 164, like that's pretty good progress, which hats off to you. It just means you've been really diligent about your training and your nutrition. Um, Obviously cleaning up the cleaning up the food you're eating and training more and training hard and training consistently. And yeah, if you look at your graph, dude, it's just like chipping away, chipping away, chipping away, chipping away.
Yeah.
And 6 months in, you guys have to understand too, what we tell people we help you do in general: burn fat, build muscle, increase performance at the same time. Not like the same day, but within the same frame. 6 months in, you've done that, right? You've obviously burned body fat. I would say that, I mean, do you feel like you've built muscle?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Right. So built
Absolutely.
lean muscle, and it's a body
Complete.
recomp. Go
Right.
ahead.
Right. Exactly. And that's what my plan with Ryan was a body recomp. You know, because 2 years ago into the gym prior to this program, like, I was gaining strength, but my body wasn't changing at all. I could push more weight and whatnot, but my body didn't change at all. It looked the same as I did when I first started. So the recomp is definitely helping a lot. It's great
Yes.
for self-esteem too.
Yeah. And so I tell people all the time, and we see that your situation is so similar. I actually just got off the phone with hopefully somebody that joins the program, but on SWAT. He's like, I go to the gym, I'm strong. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, neurologically, physiologically, you go to the gym, you lift weights, you will get stronger to a certain point, but the body probably won't change. And that's good because we definitely want you to be able to be strong and perform and have cardio for your job. But I think if we're all being super honest with each other, we all want to look good too, right? So it's like, well, why do we have to pick both? Well, we can't just pick looking good and, not being able to run a mile like a, tradition, like what we think of in a bodybuilder, because that's pretty unfunctional. So we try to just get people, or not try, we do get people to come in and do all three, right? And you're just another example of somebody that, came in, burned body fat quite a bit, right? 8%, dropped 20 pounds, built some lean muscle, and increased most of your performance. I mean, do you think there's any performance marker you haven't increased when it comes to like cardio, mobility, strength, or do you think all around everything got better?
I think overall everything got better.
Love it.
All the weak spots seem to be catching up, um, and I just feel like full body wise, like, I'm functioning much better than I did 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And for the SWAT guy out there, I did 4 years as a SWAT medic. And I was in really good shape then, but that was quite a few years, probably 10 years ago almost.
Yeah.
Um, and, like I had kind of like everybody else, you get comfortable and then you kind of start slipping. And then next thing you know, you're like, how the heck did I get here?
Yeah.
And so this was my way of getting back into that type of shape. And,
Right. Well,
and so it can be done.
yeah. Well, at 50 years old on this program, do you feel better or look better than you did when you were like 45, like 5 years ago?
Definitely. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I think that's important for people to know because a lot of people we work with are from their 40s to their mid 50s. Like that's a big range. And it happens, right? Because the career gets to you. You put 20, 30 years in, kids, and all these different things, and you let yourself go. And I think for a lot of people we've had in the last 6 months of our program are like, look, I see what happens when you don't take care of yourself. I've seen the people retire and they either literally die, which is, terrible, but it happens, or they just fall apart, crumble mentally, physically. And like, I'm unwilling to settle for that reality. Like, I want to retire strong, finish out my career, enjoy the time with my family. And so it's good to get perspective on from somebody that's been in forever and kind of see that, hey, you're 50 years old and age isn't just like it is kind of just a number relatively, right? Because also what we get is people come in like, I'm 50 years old and I'm not, it's not like I was when I was 40. I was like, I don't know, man. I think if you got dialed in and you did the right things, like you would feel better than you do when you were 40. And we actually see that a lot. I mean, you're one case, but we have tons and tons that I can think of when they're like, at 51, 52, I'm in the best shape I've been in since I was 23, 24 years old. And that's awesome because it's like, yeah, you're not dead. You're not in the ground. We don't have to give up. We can sit there and be an animal into our 50s, our 60s. We see it all the time. What were some hesitations, if you had any, before you go in the program? Because we know like why you joined, what your goals were, what you overcome. But for you, first online coach, which it is for most of our people, was there
Correct.
any kind of like hesitation or fear before pulling the trigger and making the leap?
Yeah, I mean, initially, like you said, the first online coach, not somebody that's going to be, over my shoulder the whole time. So like I was worried about, what's the accountability really going to be like? Is how is somebody going to make sure that I'm doing this stuff? And the weekly check-ins that we started off with, like, definitely helped. Um, and he just kept motivating me. Every week we'd check in. He'd be like, "Hey, you're doing a little better with this. You're doing better with that." Like, and um, the accountability piece definitely helped. I was nervous about paying the price and um, not following through with the program. People be like, it's like every January, people come into the gym, they're like, yeah, new year, new me. And then by the end of February,
Yep.
half of those people are gone. And I didn't want that to be me. I know that putting forward the money and having somebody accountable, holding me accountable would make me do what I need to do, and I mean, you can ask anybody that knows me now, like, if it says on Monday, this is what my workout is, then Monday morning, that's what I'm doing. I mean, I was working out at night, but I started going back to school again, trying to get another bachelor's degree, and so I had to switch my workouts to bright and early in the morning, and you know, 5:30, quarter of six, I'm getting up and headed to the gym and
Yeah.
getting those workouts in because it's my lifestyle now.
Yeah.
It's what I want to do. I want to get them done. I like my check-ins on Thursdays with Coach Ryan, and he'll be like, "Hey man, you're the easiest client out there, man. You're just hitting all your macros. You're doing the job. You're getting it done." And I'm like, you know what? I said, now that I'm into it, like I'm like a gym rat now. I
Yeah.
love it. I love to go. I love pushing myself, and I love seeing the changes in myself that have happened.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of an identity shift. And so when I tell people two things, I say number one, I don't want to work with you forever. I want to get you self-sufficient. You're halfway through your program and you've proven that you're pretty much almost already there, right? You're like, this is just me now. Cool. So Roger will never go back. And that's how long we want to work with you, right? Until you're like, hey, like I'm good. Like this is me now. This is version 2.0. If I'm not with you guys, I'm not just gonna like stop going to the gym. Like I just this
Right.
is a habit. So that's number one. And you said something, you're like, hey, I was, obviously it was is an investment and I want to make sure I didn't do it. Proof's in the pudding. You're doing it. So obviously it worked. And it's two things, accountability and skin in the game, right? You're like, hey, I made an investment. And I know if I pay for something and I put the money up front and I'm all in and somebody's holding me accountable,
Yep.
I'll do it. Yes, we know. You're one of 1,000 plus clients we've had in our program that have proven like, yeah, that works. Obviously you got to put in the work. Like you have done the
Sure.
work. So we're really proud of
Sure.
the work you've done. You're busting your ass. You're doing what you need to do. And I guess my second question, well, question off that, do you feel like it was worth the investment?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, somebody keeping track of me as far as my nutrition and making sure that I'm getting in the workouts so that I'm getting the most bang for my buck um, is important to me. And the communication, the ease of communication. Send them a text. My coach gets back to me in a pretty quick time frame. None of my questions are ever like, "Hey, I need to know right this second," but like, "Hey, if you can get back to me in a day or two, like, I'm just curious about this. Like, what little tweaks can I do? Like I had some shoulder injury that was kind of nagging at me, and I just let them know, hey, this is what's bothering me. Like, what can I do to tweak my workout a little bit? Because I don't want to, people get injured, they just
Yeah.
all of a sudden kind of fall off, and I'm like, I'm not stopping, but I just need you to tweak some stuff because
Yeah.
pain or no pain, I'm in it to win it, So, and he was able to just make some little changes, and things are good.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. So good communication, good customer service. Sounds like Coach Ryan's, there for you. You said sometimes he responds in 30 minutes, sometimes it's a couple hours, but obviously we're never making you wait days, right? Like,
No, nope,
and that's really important. Is like, not to call out any specific companies, but like one of the biggest industry issues in the coaching industry online is like crappy customer service. Like that's just pretty basic, right? It's like,
yep,
yeah, the coach emailed me and they didn't get back to me and I can't get a hold of the owner. And like, I'm like, yeah, we don't do that here. I think it's really straight up transparent. Obviously, we have the open door policy. Like if you need to get on a call with Ryan, you can book up the call. Like you can chat with him. He's not unavailable. We want to make it feel very, very available, which it sounds like he's been to you.
right,
And
absolutely.
then my last question, because obviously this is what everybody has in common, which is the crazy schedule, the changing schedules. You were doing nights, now you're going to school and the craziness. How has the flexibility been and molding to your lifestyle and where you are physically, just the whole like customization of it fitting you?
Well, I mean, the good part is like you know today what your workout is 3 weeks from now because you guys do it in phases,
Hmm.
right? So to and if for some reason something comes up, life gets busy and you can't do your workout on Monday, you can take it on the app and shift it a day, shift all your workouts one day and still get it in. I mean, I've had days where, things got so busy at work that I wasn't able to get my workout in before work, and then I couldn't get it done during the day. So the very next day, I did a workout in the morning, and I did my second day workout at night. You know,
Yeah.
because I wasn't I'm so fully invested in this thing that I'm not going to miss a workout. Like I'm
That's
gonna get it
awesome.
done, and that's how hyped up about the program that I've been. Is that like I'm seeing such great results for me that I'm like, you know what, double workout today, double workout it is.
Yeah.
And it is what it is, and I don't mind it. And even sometimes like you're like, oh, I'm going to take today off because I'm just exhausted. Like I'm just not there mentally, whatever. And so on one of my rest days, I'll do the workout that day instead.
Yeah.
It's the flexibility is definitely there. it's a little planning on your own, a little bit of
Absolutely.
time management, but it's definitely doable. I mean, I'm working 40 hours a week plus any overtime. I'm back in college, taking a college course right now. Like,
You got a
I have
family?
I got three yeah, I got three kids. Like I all the home stuff I got to do. Like I'm a busy guy, and I'm still able to get it done every day.
Yeah. And I tell people, and obviously I'm not a first responder, but I work like 6 days a week, sometimes 10 to 12 hours a day as a small business owner, like all day. That's all I do is work. And I'm still in the gym 5, 6 days a week. And I have kids and I have babies, like little kids too, and one on the way. And yeah, I mean, like it is. And I use the app too. So for me, I have to be organized. I have to look ahead. I have to be structured. Lay it out. And I have days where things come up, people cancel, like moving things around. And so the flexibility is important. And then you mentioned last thing I want to touch on. I know you're like, it's working so well that I'm like not going to miss it. Well, when you first start, just for everybody, we don't expect you to be emotionally invested like that. It's like, but
That
when you,
comes in time.
yeah, it comes in time. You start seeing, oh my gosh, I'm doing the workout, I'm getting results. Now, we do want to get you quick wins. Most of our clients are, I mean, you see the group, right? So it's not you. I mean, you came in from a recommendation for one of our best transformations we've ever had, right? So and you see the group, people are losing weight, 10 pounds in the first 2 weeks. And like over and over and over, and every Wednesday we post these, we need to get you guys bought in, right? Like we want the physical transformation to be like, this is working. And then eventually it's like 1 + 1 = 2. Like, let's say you go to pick up overtime, you're like, yeah, I get paid more. Like pretty simple, right? Like, okay, I pick up more overtime because I'm getting more money. And then eventually it becomes like that with your fitness. We're like, yeah, I'm going to go to the gym because I want the result and I know it
Right.
works. And sometimes that gap is just a belief, right? And like fitness isn't instant, right? But 6 months in, you've made awesome progress at 50 years old, man. I mean, and you are a very, very, very busy, and that's important for people to know because most of our clients are busy. They're working full time. Maybe their spouse works full time. They have one, two, three plus kids. They're also going to college. I mean, yeah, man, it's not it's not easy, right? You're a busy dude. But
Yep.
I would also say that the fitness is part of the momentum too, right? You like work, you're just keeping a pace. You're working out, you're going to the gym, you're being consistent, and that carryover to the rest of your life gives you the energy and momentum to like grind and do the things you need to do,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
In the beginning, like, you know, it took me a while to get the endurance built up and stuff, and to get through the workouts. There were definitely days that I was struggling to get through the whole workout, but I told myself, listen, I'm gonna give it, I'm gonna give it my all for, as long as I can to try to keep up with this thing. And the small wins, like you spoke about, like they happen in the first week, in the first couple weeks, the first month. Like you just start noticing, up, I dropped a pound this week. Well, I dropped 2 pounds this week.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm in the first month and I'm down 5 pounds. Or my stamina, my endurance and stuff is already starting to pick up. Like, it doesn't take long to try to see some of those results, and then they just keep, you know, blossoming from there, just more and more.
Yeah. So I don't want you guys to think like you got to wait 6 months and then you get the results. Like if you look at this
Yeah.
graph, it's like these wins that catapult the momentum. And that's in any big goal we have, right? Like when I ask people, what's the most motivational thing for you? They're like, well, I want to see results. Like, well, no, duh. But obviously you got to take the leap and join the program to get the results. So I guess my last question, I usually ask everybody this, and I'm genuinely curious what you would say. If somebody's in your position, I would assume, been in fire for a long time, maybe they're in their late 40s or 50s, um, and they're kind of in the same boat you are. What would you tell that person that was thinking about doing the program? Maybe they're on the fence, maybe they're just watching this and have some like questions.
Yeah, I mean, I tell them, do it absolutely. Be all in, from the beginning. Give it, the best of you that you can right off the bat. And because you're going to see the results, you're going to be happy with it. I'm only 6 months into the program, and I'm already thrilled with everything I've gotten out of it thus far, and I'm just going to get even better for the next 6 months, and um, I was out of shape. I was putting on more body fat than I wanted to. Like I was starting to be probably the problem child of my group versus being the leader that I wanted to be. And I mean, if you're in the fire service, you know what kind of firefighter you want to show up at your house if something's going on.
Hmm.
So be that firefighter for somebody else.
Yeah.
Do it for your own health and for your family, but do it for your profession too.
Yeah. And you stepped into your own. You could have just coasted. A lot of people do,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But it's not in your blood and DNA. And like you said, we want people to be both feet in. Like for every client we have the Zoom call with, and we kind of make sure, hey, we need you to be both feet in. And I do it out of respect for you, for the person too. It's like a relationship. If you're like, we'll get married and I'll get in this relationship and we'll see. Like, man, I don't know how successful that relationship's going to be, right? And then if it doesn't
Right.
work out, you're like, I was the person. I was like, I don't know if you were very committed. So we want you guys to be like both feet in, and we get you quick wins, but we know that just like you, that the progress keeps the momentum, right? And eventually you're getting to a point right now where you're like, I just won't miss a workout, which is badass. Like, it's become such a habit. A lot of people ask me, like, I'm, only 35, but a lot of people are like, how have you been lifting consistently for 17 years? I'm like, I can't imagine not going to the gym. It's just like, I'll go crazy. I can
Yep.
miss a day, but I don't know. I just don't not go unless I'm like violently ill or, seriously injured. It's just who I am. It feels very awkward not to go. So do you ever think that I would be like unfit? Probably not. Right? Even if I didn't have this career, just like so who I am. Like you said, you're like, I'm a gym rat now. Well, that's a good thing, right? Because it doesn't
Yeah.
mean it's your whole life. It's part of your life that's helping you create a better quality life, better leader, better shape, feel better about yourself. Obviously, better leader and example as a dad and your kids, and you got teenagers that are going to the gym and lifting with you, and you're like, "What's up?" Right? I know my son's kind of at that age too, where he goes to the gym. He's like, "Watch how much I can lift," but he looks up to dad being fit and taking care of himself, and you're not the dude with a dad bod or got out of shape, and I'm hoping that I'm crushing it too when I'm 50, and so yeah, man, we're proud of you, and I appreciate you jumping on and giving your feedback. And I'm pretty pumped to see where you're going to be in 6 months. I mean, you've made really, really good progress. I'm guessing we're going to keep increasing your food. And now that you've kind of leveled out, it's going to start going the other way in a good way, where you're like packing on some muscle, right? And kind of filling out a little bit more while keeping the leanness. And that's where
Right.
that body recomp's going to happen. And I'm excited to see where your performance and physique is 6 months from now. So
Yeah, I'm excited myself. I mean, that's all wins, baby.
yeah, yeah. Cool, cool. Well, thanks for jumping on. I appreciate your feedback. This means a lot, and I'm sure it's going to be super helpful to whoever watches it. So thanks, Roger.
All right, anytime. Thank you.
Yeah.